We are only 8 games into this year's NBA season, but already Carmelo Anthony looks like a 6th Man of the Year candidate. Even though the Lakers' big three is Russell Westbrook, LeBron James and AD, some people say it's a big four with Carmelo Anthony. Not really for me, it's a big three, but to be fair to Melo, he has won the Lakers some games on his own already. He's scoring 28 points in their first win of the season versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Top scorer that night, he was the main man against the Grizzlies. 24 points versus the Cleveland Cavaliers in another win, which he played probably the biggest role in as well. So he pretty much won those 2 games on his own. And then in the Lakers' past 2 games versus the Houston Rockets, in the first game, Melo had 23 points, again a great scoring night for him. And then even more impressive, I think, in the second game against the Rockets, he had 15 points, which is pretty good as well. You'll take that if Carmelo Anthony can give you 15 points every night, you'll take it. So 15 points you'll take, but what was impressive for me was the 4 blocks and the 2 steals he got against the Rockets on that second night they played at Staples Center. So Carmelo Anthony, I think he's impressed a lot of people. Obviously Lakers fans love him. I remember seeing his Lakers debut versus the Warriors and the reception he got coming into the court. He's definitely a fan favourite already, even though he did that free throw, that free throw, pump fake free throw which he messed up. But in all, he's been very good. And so far this year, as I said, we're only 8 games in, but he's averaged 16.5 points per game, which I think he can definitely keep that up. 16.5 points per game. As a Lakers fan, with Carmelo Anthony at 37 years old on a veteran minimum, I'm taking that every day of the week. 3.6 boards, 1 block per game, I'm very happy with that as well. Shooting 52% from 3, obviously can't keep that up, but as of right now, that's unbelievable. Shooting 51% from the field, and he's playing 27 minutes per night. Now, of course, the Lakers, once again, they're dealing with injuries, missing people like Trevor Ariza, Taylor Horton-Tucker, Kendrick Nunn, Wayne Ellington. They've had their injuries, so once the Lakers get their whole squad back, once they've their 15 guys back and ready to play, Carmelo Anthony will not be needed to play 27 minutes per night. Probably that will end up dropping to around 20 minutes per game. But at 27 minutes per night, he's doing pretty well. At 37 years old, he's moving pretty well for that age. Now, as I said, Melo shooting 52% from 3 is obviously unsustainable. And as I said, he's had some great games. The games I mentioned, the Grizzlies, the Cavaliers, the Rockets. He also had some other poor nights against the Spurs. I think the OKC, the quiet night. He has had these quiet nights, especially on the road. Pretty much every home game at Staples, Carmelo Anthony's been unbelievable. Those away games he struggled. But obviously, I'm not going to expect him to shoot 52% for the year. But what I do think, he'll definitely be shooting high 30%, low 40% by the end of the season. I'm predicting around 41-42% for the year, because I think he's become a very, very good 3-point shooter as time has gone on, and he's playing on the perfect team for him, because he's going to get lots and lots of space with Russell Westbrook and LeBron constantly attacking the rim. Melo's going to have those wide open shots, and we've seen that this season already. That's how Melo has had those 28-point games, 24-point games, because you can't guard everybody. You can't leave AD open in the paint. You gotta guard LeBron running downhill, and Westbrook, that's Westbrook's biggest strength, running downhill and attacking the rim. So you gotta guard those guys. So that means people like Carmelo Anthony will be wide open, and other guys, whoever else is playing, maybe Avery Bradley, those guys will be open, and they'll get some good shots. And defensively, I've been surprised. Melo has not been bad at all on that end of the court. Obviously, he's not renowned for his defense, and he's never going to be a defensive stopper. There's no way in hell that Coach Vogel is going to put Melo on the opposing team's best wing player or big man. But he's not been a liability on the defensive end at all. He's been pretty solid, grabbing his rebound, that's what he does best pretty much on the defensive end. But averaging a block per game and getting those 2 steals versus the Rockets, that's pretty good if you ask me. Now, obviously there's a long way to go in this year's NBA season. As it's been recorded, we're only 8 games in, which is 1/10 of the way, but it's still a long way to go, and there's going to be plenty of other competition for 6th Man of the Year. Even if Carmelo Anthony can keep the 16.5 points per game stat up, there's other guys like Tyler Hero, who's playing very well for the Heat. He could easily get 6th Man of the Year. Montrezl Harrell, he's always in or around the 6th Man of the Year voting. I think he actually won it 2 years ago, so he'll be up there with the Washington Wizards. Last year's winner, Jordan Clarkson, he won't go away. Joe Ingles, I think, is still coming off the bench for the Jazz, he won't go away. But, of course, I think if Carmelo Anthony can keep this up, he will be in contention to win this award. And imagine that. And what a comeback story it would be if Carmelo Anthony was to win 6th Man of the Year this year, though. Because, we all remember his time with the Nuggets and the Knicks. Very successful time for Carmelo Anthony. I didn't think it was that bad with OKC. Obviously things didn't work out perfectly there. Went to the Rockets, things didn't work out at all there. Only played like 10 games with him. And then he almost went a year out of the league and things were looking bad for Carmelo Anthony. Then the Blazers gave him a chance and he had a great 2 years there. And now at 37 years old, he's playing a pretty big role for the Lakers. Whether or not he'll win 6-man of the year in the NBA, he's the Lakers 6-man for sure. So at 37, he's finding himself on a team with LeBron, AD and Russ competing for a title in LA as a 6-man, playing a big role. You know, go out there shooting some threes, scoring some points for the Lakers. And I just think, imagine if Carmelo Anthony could end up with a 6-man of the year on his CV. It'd be a great comeback story. Obviously, I would love to see Carmelo Anthony become an All-Star, but that's further down the line. Wait and see, can he keep this up? But definitely 6-man of the year contention. I think Carmelo Anthony is in the conversation for that, and hopefully he can keep it up. But anyway guys, what do you guys think of Carmelo Anthony so far? Are you agreeing that he's had a great start to the season, but do you think he can keep it up? That's the real question. I'm not saying can he keep 52% shooting from 3 up. Obviously I know he can't keep that up. No one can shoot 52% from 3. But do you think he can keep this roll up to the Lakers where he's still playing very well? Or will he end up dropping off and maybe even dropping out of rotation? Who knows? But anyway guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on notifications. Stay notified. And all that said, I'm out of here.